Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for a brand new championship, the Tanso manufacturer team versus team Group 3 championship. It's just been set up and it's quite an interesting bit of a different concept to it. So I'll quickly go through the concept of the championship to give you some kind of explanation. It's 4 weeks long. The first round is here at Autodrome Lago Maggiore GP, which we are about to watch after my rather lengthy introduction. And we've got 6 manufacturers being picked, so 6 cars, Group 3 cars that have been picked by the admin. And then those cars are actually designated to the drivers, so the drivers don't get to pick which car they drive. It's the other way around. The cars are given to the drivers. So the look of the draw, you might end up with a car that you like, that you don't like, whatever you might gel with, etc., etc. Anyway, we'll quickly run through the different cars. So there's 6 of them all together, both with 2 drivers per team. So there's the McLaren, the Group 3 Honda, obviously they're all Group 3, the Mazda, the Nissan, the Mercedes AMG, and then the Jaguar as well. So I'll quickly go through the teammates. So driving for McLaren is Josh and Apache. Driving for Team Honda is Cutler and Scrabo. Driving for Team Mazda is Carrington and Next Gen Danzo. Driving for Nissan, the Nissan GTR is Britzberger, which he has been replaced this week. He's not able to make week 1. Oh, no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. So start again for Nissan. For driving for Nissan is Phil Babage, good name, and Doc Coop, or Coop. So yeah, Phil Babage and Doc Coop driving for Team Nissan. Sorry about that, got that a bit mixed up. And then we've got Carrington and Danzo driving for Team Jaguar. And we've got THG Britzberger, which has been replaced this week by Rick. And TRG Obi-Wan driving the Mercedes AMG. So hopefully that wasn't too boring, but it fills you in on the drivers and hopefully it'll become more evident as we go through the race and commentate. Not a lot else to know other than the maximum tyre the guys are allowed to pick in this championship is the soft tyre, so there's no super soft available. And the fuel is set to ×3, so it's ×3 of what you would expect from the normal fuel wear, and then ×5 for the tyre wear as well. So it should be quite interesting. It's roughly a 40-minute race, I think it is. And we'll get underway. I do apologise for those that were expecting me to commentate on Sunday night. I was expecting to commentate on Sunday night as well. Something cropped up. I had to rush out at last second, and unfortunately meant that I couldn't do it and I missed it. So I do apologise, and this is my way of making it up by doing a replay video instead. So hopefully you enjoy it all the same, even though it's not live and all the rest of it. Anyway, we'll get into this one and do our best to give it a good show. So hit start. So Apache in first place. In fact, before we get going, I'm a bit rusty. We'll go through the grid order. So in pole position, we've got Apache in the McLaren, Obi-Wan in second in the AMG. Or is it? Is it just the Mercedes? I think that's just the Mercedes, actually. It's not the AMG. We've got TRG Cutler in third position in the Honda. So a good mix of cars through the 15-minute qualifying session to determine this grid order. So not just the same car at the front, which is always good to see. Then the Jaguar. So 4 different manufacturers in the first 4 places there. Then Phil Babage, I'm going to call him. Probably don't pronounce it like that, but who cares? In 5th, I like pronouncing it like that already. 6th is, in the Nissan GTR. 6th is Rick, so replacing, let me just look up his name, not overly familiar, Britzberger. So for this week only, I think Rick is replacing Britzberger in the Mercedes. Then we've got Doc Coop in the GTR in 7th. E-Man in the Mazda in 8th. We've got Danzo in 9th in the Jaguar. Josh is in 10th in the McLaren, which is quite a contrast to his teammate, which is in pole position. Scrabo in 11th in the Honda. And Jamin is the guy taking up the rear in 12th in the Mazda. So, without much further ado, we'll jump back to the exterior camera and hit start and watch how the race develops. Off the go, so not long to wait until we get underway. Apache gets a reasonable start, but Cutler gets the better start. And Cutler's got the run around the outside there, he holds it around the outside, does a good job. Apache leaves him a little bit of room. Manages to keep the inside line as well, does Cutler, and Apache gets pushed out wide a little bit, no contact, just ran the line out a little bit wide. That allows Carrington to get through, and Obi-Wan just getting through into third place there as well, just getting past Apache after running that a little bit wide there. So Apache got it all to do, losing it off the start, down from first place to fourth. Within a matter of corners behind, we have Rick and Phil having a little bit of argy-bargy. Rick taking 5th position into the tight right-hander. Phil looking for a run back at him, but not able to make the move down the inside. Rick was aware of it by the look of it there, and left a little bit of room just in case he did. But Phil not pushing it that hard. Early doors. Doc Coop in 7th, just following Phil round nice and close. Josh looks like he's defending a little bit from Tanso in 8th to 9th. Scrabbo away nicely, leading away from Jamin in 11th, and E-Man unfortunately finds himself in 12th now, so go back to the front. Cutler still holding the lead, just about. CRT Carrington right behind him, putting the pressure on. Looks like the Jaguar's got the pace to apply that pressure nicely and possibly go for this, go for pole, go for the win. Good opening lap between these guys though. Coming round towards the end of the lap now. Nice and close between them. Obi-Wan still ahead of Apache. Oh, just going a little bit deep, a little bit wide through the last corner. Manages to gather it all up nicely, gets back on track, but does lose the position back to Apache there, so back down into 4th for Obi-Wan. Phil and Coop going through the corner, side by side. Phil just getting about, just about getting the nose ahead to keep it ahead of Coop through the next sector. Good little start from these guys. Let's have a look at the camera angles now. Switch it up a little bit. A bit rusty at all this, so do bear with me. I'll probably press all the wrong buttons all of the time, but I'll get back into it soon enough. I have done plenty of commentary in the past, just been a while. Oh. Doc nearly got caught out there. As the guys in front took that corner quite slowly to get the line through the rest of this section. Doc went quite heavy on the brakes and had to nearly take a void in action. Oh, not much room given there by Rick. And Doc, I'm not sure if he was aware he was there, to be fair, but Doc not finding any space for himself left on the outside there and gets put into the wall. Bit naughty there by Rick, but he was entitled to do that, I guess. With Doc taking the obscure outside line, but that's just the run he had at the time and the space that he had to take. So Cutler now finding himself under pressure. Oh, a little tap from Apache on the back of Carrington, and that's allowed Obi-Wan just to take 2 positions from 4th into 2nd with a nice move there. Let's go back and watch that again. That's quite good. So a little mistake there from Carrington and Apache, and that allows Obi-Wan just to dive through, take 2nd place, demote them both. Good stuff. Cutler on the other hand has a little bit of breathing room for a second or two, and he has the opportunity now just to try and focus in front instead of having to watch behind, try and gain a bit more of a gap. Apache having a bit of a mixed race so far, but he's done well to mix it up at the front and keep it there. Drop back off the line, and he's just been mugged again in another position, but that's the way it goes. He's keeping his head by the look of it and keeping it going. Same as Carrington, doing a good job. keeping their head down, trying not to get too frustrated with a position lost here and there. Oh, Phil Babage goes a little bit wide, just collects the AstroTurf there, and there's not a lot you can do about that. Drags him out wide with understeer, gets it back on track, and does actually maintain his 5th position. So Rick is a lot closer than he was to the back of Phil now, but still doesn't manage to get the advantage and get past. Meanwhile, Tanso is catching these two in front, battling hard. So we've got Coop and, or Doc, I'm going to call him, the Doc and Rick battling hard against each other, which is just bringing Tanso straight into this race. Look, he's not far behind at all now in the Jaguar. Number 44 on there, must be a Lewis Hamilton fan. Same number as Hamilton racers. I thought that might turn into a bit of a battle quite quickly between them, but they look like they've settled down a little bit, got their act together and taking the lines nicely again. Scrabu's dropped back a little bit, finds himself in 11th and jamming in 12th now in the Mazda. Unfortunately, E-Man was in 12th, he's made his way back up. 2 positions so far, so not too bad a job in the first opening laps from E-Man. Made his way back up the field a little bit and getting himself back into this race. Josh in 9th, just following the Doc. Doc has dropped off Tanso now. Tanso is well and truly onto the back of Rick in the slipstream, and Phil Babage still doing a good job of holding 5th place here. Let's see what's going on towards the front a little bit more. Carrington making a move down the inside of Obi-Wan. Gets it done as well. Around the tight right-hander. Heading down the hill now. Heavy on the brakes into this next corner as well. Looking to get the apex and a good exit out of this corner because it's an uphill exit. You want to be carrying as much speed as possible over the crest here, and then you're looking for a sharp drop downhill on the brakes, hook up the apex nice and early, and drive it through the section as fast as possible. Carrington looks like he's done a great job of that. Obi-Wan maybe not so much, dropping off a little bit through that section. Obi-Wan taking the line I do there, cutting the sausage curb right over the middle of it. Make sure you hit the middle of your car with the sausage there, otherwise that could be quite an incident. If it goes under the middle, it doesn't touch anything, no problem whatsoever. Apache challenging for first place now in 2nd. Apache putting the pressure on as well, he's right behind, bumper to bumper stuff. Cutler must know he's there, feeling the pressure, going defensive. Cutler nice and early, showing his intention, he's not going to let him pass, which is always good. I like going, if I go defensive I go early, and it shows that what you're doing, so it's unlikely you're both going to have a mistake because of the fact that one's gone to the inside, one to the out. If you leave it till the last second, that's where it can all go wrong. You can have a mistake and a bit of contact between you. But if you show that intention early, then you both know what's going on and you can both just concentrate on taking the opposite line to each other basically. Plus obviously, oh, Cutler having a big moment. Oh, a big moment of oversteer. Let's go back and watch how he just got that going there. So let's go on board with Cutler. Went defensive, so he went to the apex early. Was heavy on the brakes, trying to keep Apache behind. With the pressure on, he felt like he had to brake late, which is probably the right thing to do, but he just unfortunately got it a bit messed up. Apache didn't give him much room for error and give him a little bash on the way through. So that sees Apache up into first place, and Cutler struggling now with pressure on from Obi-Wan. They're right on his rear bumper, pushing him round the corner more or less, and that drops him down into 4th all of a sudden. So Cutler will be kicking himself at that one, but there's plenty of time in this race to get back into it, and the guys in front are only in front, they're only there, so it's easily a possibility to come back into this race. Cutler just needs to stay calm. From my experience, this is what I talk about. I don't know how Cutler was feeling at the time. Big moment again through there, just catching the curb a little bit too much. The NSX not brilliant at taking the curbs, so that's dropped him back even further there, unfortunately, and probably out of the slipstream of Obi-Wan in front. Easily done But yeah, when I'm talking about the, maybe it sounds like I'm giving the perspective of the driver, but obviously I don't know what the driver's thinking. I don't go talking to every single driver after the race or anything like that either, so I don't know, but I just give my perspective of how I would be feeling whilst I, you know, in my experience from racing, basically. So it might not be absolutely bang on. Cutler might not have been upset, for example, in that case. He might have been perfectly calm and just took it. But I would imagine he would be slightly annoyed with himself after a bit of an incident here and there and going from first into fourth. And that was all just from defending into the first corner, so it only happened a lap ago. And it's all changed now. Dynamics of the race have changed completely. Apache in first, and he's built up a nice little gap as well, so don't have to worry immediately about Carrington behind him. Oh, it looked like a pit stop there. Pit stop from Cutler. I don't know if I didn't actually look. Did Cutler pick up any damage? So he might have had some damage done for the super soft tyre, which I didn't think was actually allowed. So maybe the rules I've read are slightly out of date or something. Maybe the super soft is the tyre of choice if you are allowed to put it on. Anyway, Cutler's done it, so I'm guessing it's the done thing because Cutler normally knows his stuff. Normally hosts these lobbies. So let's go through the field all the way through. We haven't checked up on absolutely everyone for a while. So Apache in first place, doing a grand old job. Pulled a nice lead if we look backwards to Carrington. Carrington in the Jaguar in second. Third is TRG OB1 in the Mercedes. That's our podium for the time being. Phil Babbage is in fourth in the Nissan GTR. I nearly called it a GTA then. Fifth is Next Gen's Tanso in the Jaguar. Cutler takes up sixth position now after his pit stop in the Honda NSX. Got Eman in seventh in the Mazda. Eman started, I'm not sure if he started right at the back, I can't remember, but he was in 12th position in the opening lap through one reason or another, and he now finds himself in seventh, so he's doing a great job in the Mazda is Eman, and having a good race. Apache and Carrington into the pits now from first and second. The Doc is in 8th position in the Nissan GTR, following Eman not too distantly behind. Josh is in the McLaren in 9th position, struggling a little bit with the McLaren. It's a tricky car to drive. I've never really liked it, and you have to short shift it to get the most out of it. So what he's doing there is actually wrong. He's over revving it and he's losing time, so he might need to know that, Josh. Rick is in 10th in the Mercedes as well. Eman in the pits now, a couple of pit stops going on lap 6. Jamin is in 11th in the Mazda. And then finally in 12th position we have TRG Scrabo in the Honda NSX. So jump back up, see what's happening. Obi-Wan is now in first place after Apache and Carrington have both pitted, and they're both still bumper to bumper. So Apache's lost that lead a little bit after the pit stop, and it's brought Carrington right up to his bumper again. He did have a little bit of a lead heading into the pits. Obi-Wan though looks like he's not pitted yet. Oh no, he pitted early, so he's gone for the undercut. Looks like he's gone for the undercut because his tyres look fine. Unless he's just really good on the tyres and he hasn't pitted at all. So look at his lap times. That 2:03 might have been a pit stop. Let's see what other people's pit stop time was. 2:08, 2:07. So no, Obi-Wan hasn't pitted yet, and he's just done really well on his tyres. He's kept his tyres really fresh. And he's still setting purple sectors as well, so Obi-Wan's loving the fact that he's in the lead. Now able to push and just concentrate on the road ahead. Good work from Obi-Wan there. Apache in second and Carrington in third. This race has been going on for a while now between these two. Good stuff. Phil Babbage looking to get back onto the bumper of the cars in front, but unfortunately he will need a pit stop before the cars in front will stop again, so can't see him catching up to third position, but he can do a grand old job of trying to hold fourth. Cutler going a little bit wide through the last corner. ghosting a little bit. Manages to get it back on track though. It's not too big a deal unless you go ultra wide through that last corner. And then you have messed it up. Tanso getting followed distantly by the Doc and E-Man. E-Man's lost his 7th place now. Looks like the Doc's taking it off him. The Doc yet to pit on his super soft tyres, so obviously super soft must be allowed in this championship, and the rules that I read must have been slightly out of date. Good little battle developing here though. Battle for 7th. Good stuff. E-Man not pushing it too hard. Doc doing a good job of sticking ahead. Not defending too heavily the Doc, so he might find himself with a Mazda chucked down the inside of him sometime soon as I speak. There goes E-Man with the launch down the inside. Doc's still got the inside line for the next one because it's a left-hander. So it worked out nicely, just running it side by side, still side by side through there. Still had the line. And Doc comes out ahead again. E-Man chasing hard though. Good stuff. Keep an eye on that, see what happens between those two. Rick now finds himself a little bit further back in 9th, jamming in 10th, Bravo in 11th, Josh in 12th. Josh coming into the pits, he's picked up damage as Josh ruined the front end of that McLaren, the beautiful McLaren. And the tyres have completely gone now as well on his mediums. His rear tyres have completely gone, so he definitely needed that stop. Probably could have done with it a little bit earlier. Going to find it hard now. He's probably Rick going wide through there. You can carry a lot of speed through that corner, but that is the risk to it. If you carry too much and bit of understeer, you see yourself just going towards the gravel. Not a lot you could do about it by that point, and that's basically what Rick's just done there. Easy mistake to make, but quite a big one at the same time. Lost a lot of time there. So E-Man's finally got past the Doc. The Doc heads in the pits to get some fresh rubber, probably some fuel as well. And E-Man is released in 7th place to try and chase down the guys in front with his fresh tyres. Gone for the soft tyre on this stint. Tanso, the guy in front, in 6th. His tyres are a lot more worn than E-Man's as well, so potentially E-Man could close that gap down. Cutler with a bit of front end damage as well. Front aero doesn't slow you down massively, but it does lose your lap time. You're never going to be able to go as quick as you could without it, but it certainly doesn't like give you a second a lap disadvantage or anything. It's minimal, but you do notice it, is what I'm trying to say. Try and summarise it. Well, let's keep an eye on this race for 2nd, really. It is the bulk of the action. We've still got our little battle between E-Man and Doc. We'll have a look at that when Doc comes out of the pits. Well, he has done now, but we'll go back through in a minute or two and have a look, see where they are in relation to each other. But at the moment we'll stick with Carrington, go on board with him and see how he's going for this next lap, see if he's catching Apache in front. Obi-Wan now is he's already gone through the first corner as Obi-Wan, so got quite a big lead on these two following him, and is quite comfortable in 1st place at the moment. Needs to keep it mistake free to keep that the case. Meanwhile, we are watching Carrington try and chase down Apache in front of him, cutting the curbs as much as possible. It is the way to drive this track, and cut this one massively as well. Oh, a bit of a bad line through there. Took a narrow apex, so he's always going to send him out wide on the exit a little bit there. If it had turned in a little bit later, that exit would have been a little bit smoother. He's turned in a little bit too aggressively and too early. Doing a reasonable job through there, catching, if he can, any little bit of time on Apache in front. Good line into that first one, gives you a good line through the rest of it. Little lift as he just got it settled over the curb then. Decent lap though, so far. We are in race as well. It's, for a qualifying lap it could be possibly more aggressive, but for a race lap it's not looking bad at all. Cutting the curve again as much as possible. bit of an early apex again, so it sent him a little bit out wide on the exit. Nothing to worry about though, we're nowhere near going off for the curb, but probably had a little hesitation because of that. And then down, this is a tricky old corner, downhill braking, cambers, but then it kind of feels off camber when you go through it just after you've hit the apex. And then hooking up for that second right-hander, it's tricky as well. This one is take as much curb as you dare, chuck it in early, he's missed the apex a little bit, but all in all, not too bad a lap there from Carrington. Obi-Wan's just pitted, or he's currently in the pit, should I say. So that releases Apache now into first place. But if you're looking at tyres, Apache's tyres aren't the freshest, so Obi-Wan still has the advantage in this race really. If you look at the fuel as well, Obi-Wan's definitely got the advantage, so this is looking good. Even though he's dropped into third position, now he's come out of the pits, I think Obi-Wan has the advantage on the two guys in front really. And we'll keep an eye on it, but that's the way it looks at the moment. Still got to keep it going though, keep those consistent laps coming in, otherwise there will be no reward for his hard efforts. Sorry, I'm Yorkshire. Hard is actually pronounced hard. Fastest lap at the moment belongs to Apache as well. 156.317, sorry. I saw that as a 7, but I said 0 for some reason. So, there's not a lot of close action going on, so we'll just skip through and give everyone a little bit of coverage really. Keep an eye on Obi-Wan in the meantime as well though, because it looks like he's catching. So we'll have a quick skip through, see how everyone's doing. Oh, Phil's got a little bit of pressure on from Cutler now, not far behind at all. The NSX just taking a bit of a straighter line through those corners, but managing it as well, not having to take more exit. And Phil just a little bit sharper on his turning, noticing through those corners. A little bit of well, he's on his outlap, Phil though, so he's just getting into the tyre, getting to grips with the grid. What's happened here? What's happened there? Oh, it's a back marker, so Jamming is about to get overtaken now by Phil. Oh, a bit of contact as they go side by side. Not sure if that was intentional, I don't think it would have been, but it didn't look good. Cutler in the pits, Danza in the pits now on lap 11. So Jamming finding himself as a back marker now. Scrabu in 10th, so slowly getting a position or two through this race is Scrabu. Danza cruising around in the midfield, where he has been for the majority of the race, along with Doc as well. He hasn't quite managed to just make it work. They don't seem to have had a bad race at all, but don't seem to have made it work for going forward really, and just stuck roughly where they started. Cutler on the other hand had a really good start and he's dropped back, so story of the race so far for Cutler. He's on a bit of a comeback race really. I think he's lost his chance of the win, I dare say, but could still get a good result out of this one. He's certainly got a chance of taking 5th position here off E-Man. Let's see how this unfolds. Into the tight right-hander where you can carry a lot of speed, but you do have to get the braking right to be able to do it. And that was done perfectly there by Cutler down the inside. Got the job done. Where's E-Man gone? Oh, E-Man's had a little bit of an issue through there because he's dropped back quite a distance to say he was right behind him then. He must have just caught the curb a little bit or run the grass a little bit and had to get out of the throttle because he's dropped back considerably to say Cutler's just overtaken him. A bit unfortunate there for E-Man. Would have been nice to stick with him and stick with that slipstream, but couldn't quite make it happen that time round. Looks like E-Man's pitting as well this time, so that might be an explanation for it. He's nearly out of fuel actually. Doc comes in as well, nearly out of fuel as well, same story for him. And Cutler is now in 5th place. Away he goes. So Obi-Wan is now in 2nd. I didn't catch the overtake on Carrington, not sure when it happened. But he's done a good job to make it up to Carrington, to catch him up in the first place. Carrington on a different strategy though, needs to pit this lap round, and he actually has a little bit of damage as well, so I hope that isn't a result of the overtake from Obi-Wan, but he'll be able to get that sorted as he comes in the pits this time for fuel and fresh rubber. Obi-Wan now is still got the advantage with the strategy. He's still got more than quarter of a tank of fuel. It's on the super soft tyre, not too worn, not looking too bad. So he's definitely got the advantage, as Apache needs to pit this lap as well for fuel. So this is where Obi-Wan goes back to him again. And he'll now take the lead from Apache, and Carrington won't have a chance either because he'll need to pit. Good strategy working out well for Obi-Wan here. These longer races, they are about strategy. And he's played an absolute blinder as Obi-Wan TRG. So Apache taking on fuel, gone on the soft tyre this time. Carrington on the super soft, taking on fuel as well. Apache leaves before Carrington, no surprise, he came in before him. Gone for, what's that? Just over half a tank. I was going to work out some kind of percentage, but I won't embarrass myself. Carrington in 3rd, now exits the pits, and he has the back marker of 11th place Josh behind him. Is Josh going to play the game? Play ball? Yeah, they both let him through. So 10th and 11th pretty close together, having a battle of their own now, Josh and Scrabu. But they're having to let other cars through at the same time. Look, Phil's behind now in 4th position. Need to get past these back markers. They need to be aware as well and let him through. It's not fair if Phil's on the cusp of getting another position, if it's down to like 2nd or less than a 2nd, and you get held up when these guys aren't even in the same race really. Obviously they are in the same race, but they're not fighting for position like. Well, it's just how racing works. You know. If you're watching this, you know how racing works. Surely. Get out of the way if you're a back marker. Don't affect anyone else's race unless it can't be helped in any. There's one reason or another. It does happen, but yeah. More often than not, you just want to get out of the way. See people drive on the grass sometimes. You think, bloody hell, you didn't have to get that far out of the way. So Phil got through without much problem in the end. He's got another back marker in front of him there, look. He's catching 10th position now, which is Josh again. So he didn't get past Josh. That was Obi-Wan's in the pit. Not actually necessary to pit when he has now on lap 14. So this might actually lose his advantage. Apache, let's see where he goes. This might bring everything back to Apache, this. Obi-Wan had the advantage without pitting on that lap. If he'd have gone for another lap or two, I think he'd have had it. Because then he'd have come out on fresh tyres, and Apache's tyres would have been quite worn. Whereas Apache's tyres are absolutely brand new. They're on the same fuel now as well. So Obi-Wan might have chucked it away now. But saying that, he's still got a chance. He's just got to actually do it on track with an overtake and catch him up. He's quite a distance behind. Purple sector there from Apache as well, coming through the 2nd sector, I think it is. So yeah, he did have the advantage with the strategy, and he might have just chucked it away. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the end now. Carrington still cruising round in 3rd, not quite making the impact he had at the beginning of the race, and he's dropped off a little bit. Phil still having a good race here, just overtaking the back markers. Got plenty of work to do, even though it's not for position. Having a bit of fun. Colour in 5th, it's all broken up a little bit, kind of big gaps between the cars now. We've got Tanso and Doc pretty close together though. Nissan GTR versus Tanso's Jaguar. If you enjoyed this so far and you got this far through, thank you very much. Hopefully you do enjoy these things. I put quite a bit of effort into it when I actually get around to doing these things. So yeah, give us a thumbs up, give us a like if you do enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, I'm guessing you won't have got this far through, but feel free to hit that dislike button as well. Completely up to you. Oh, Doc, what are you doing? No. Oh, didn't want to see him go off, but he just had. Oh no, come on. Take it steady, get it going. Oh, he's messed it up completely there, Doc. I don't want to keep watching him. He went off a little bit. It was getting back on where his problem there. He spun it, and then he spun it again, and then he spun it again. He just needed to really calmly set off again, really gently on the throttle. But unfortunately, he lost it and then lost it again, so he's really dropped back. Meanwhile, Cutler gets past Phil as Phil's just dived into the pits. Was it Phil? I think it was Phil. Phil's just dived in the pits, I believe. Is it? Yeah, he's on his outlap. Yeah, so Cutler's just inherited 4th place, getting more towards where he started the race now in 4th. Good work from Cutler as well, being persistent and consistent through this race to get himself back up the field. Drifting it through there. Phil losing out a position to his pit stop, but he's had a good race so far, so let's see if we can chase Cutler down. Skip it through a little bit, and then we'll concentrate on the closest action, wherever it might be. Oh, the Doc's got problems again. He's on the grass again. He's had a really decent go at this race up until this lap, so it's all gone wrong for him on lap 16. Really unfortunate stuff. And the beginning of lap 15 it all went wrong for him, and the beginning of lap 16 I'm being brilliant either. But we won't dwell on that. Just trying to commentate at the end of the day. I'm not in any way having a go or trying to point out anyone's flaws or weaknesses. It's just trying to do commentary. It's all part of it, I'm afraid. Josh is getting blue flags as I'm not sure who it is. He's coming up behind him. I think it'll be the Rick again. No, was it Rick? I'm not sure it was Rick. It was, I've forgotten. Tanso, I think it was. Never mind. Phil might have been. Completely forgotten who it was. Look at the tyres from Tanso. I think he's coming in the pits. He's got hardly any fuel left, so he's definitely pitting now. This will work out nice for E-Man right behind him. He's got a lot of fuel as E-Man. Not the freshest of tyres, but he can certainly do a few more laps before he needs to pit. So he gains 6th position from Tanso diving in. Keep it in this angle for a little bit so you can actually see the cars. You can actually look backwards and kind of keep an eye on the gaps and stuff. Anyway, let's find our closest bit of action. Let's see where it is. Oh, bit of lag there, jumping between the thing. Oh, did I must have just pressed the wrong button or something. Anyway, never mind. So Obi-Wan, oh, I missed it. Obi-Wan has managed to regain 1st place. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case a second ago, so I'll go back. There we go. Let's watch this. Oh, Obi-Wan. To say he's just taken 1st place, that wasn't the best. Touch on the wall. No harm done, no damage picked up. So what happens here? Oh, Apache goes wide in front, loses it completely. Oh, Obi-Wan has to slow right down to make sure that he don't go right into the back of him, but Apache missing out completely there. And it could have been a lot worse because Obi-Wan's only just got past him. He could have got past and had a big gap there. But the fact that Apache was getting it back on track and Obi-Wan didn't know exactly where he was going to end up, he had to take it cautiously, and it's worked out quite well for Apache. It almost worked out as a bit of a blocking move, but just from trying to get back on track. But yeah, it all went wrong a little bit. I'm tempted to go back and watch again there. He's picked up damage as well as from that. Now, this is a big moment in this race. Apache's had a very consistent race up until this point. Just gets 2 wheels on the grass, might have been looking backwards, checking the gap, not concentrating. 2 wheels on the grass, puts it into the wall and picks up that damage. And then he gets going again slowly but surely, and there we see Obi-Wan on the outside going past him. It's a big moment. Will that damage hinder him from having a go and coming back through as well? At the moment it will do, because it's not close enough through these corners, but will it hinder his chance of catching him up and actually getting a chance to get P1 back? Let's see if Apache can do it. McLaren versus Mercedes. Interesting battle. Not using the curves as much as he could do. Might have lost a little bit of confidence after that mistake though. Just taking it steady and getting the rhythm going again. I do a similar thing, to be fair. If I have a big mistake, I don't push straight away again, unless I really have to, because I've got pressure on from behind or something. But if I get a chance to, just try and get a rhythm back to make sure I don't make any silly mistakes again. Looks like Obi-Wan's doing a good job though, pulled a bit of a gap. Carrington doesn't really have the chance to benefit from any of this happening in front of him. Too far back really. Let's go a little bit further back, because I've noticed on the mini-map there's a couple of cars quite close together. We've got Cutler and Phil behind. Not that close, but there's still potential there. If there's a bit of an incident, bit of an accident, bit of a mistake anyway, could be the chance for Phil to get through up into 4th. Cutler on his outlap as well now, so just gone for the last stop of the race. I believe it'll probably be. Not much going on back here. These guys are driving around on their own really now. Not a great deal going on for a lot of the field. A lot of guys just on their own. Josh has got the blue flags for him in 10th position. He's got the guys in 4th and 5th coming up behind him. So Cutler's going to be coming through when he catches up finally to the back end of Josh. Josh is really revving out this McLaren too much. He needs to be short shifting it a little bit more. It's really weird to do because you don't drive many cars like that, but the McLaren really benefits from it. So he's allowing it to happen now. Blue flags, and just lets Cutler go down the inside. Got a bit of a gap to Phil, so he's probably going to carry on for a corner or two and then let Phil go. So that's Cutler released. He's going to just let Phil pass here. He's losing a lot of time by doing this, so it's good sportsmanship here from Josh. Letting Phil through, and the blue flags have been served there. Disappear now for Josh. But not a great deal going on other than the battle between Phil and Cutler and Apache and Obi-Wan. We'll keep an eye on this because he's for the lead at the end of the day. So Patchy's decided that that damage isn't affecting him too badly, and he's managed to just drive on with it. He's not come into the pits or thought about it. But look at his lap times. They've slowed down slightly, but they're not too bad. His tyres aren't brilliant either, so that'll be a factor of it. Obi-Wan now, let's go on board with him. He's done a really good job throughout this race, so let's give him a little bit of credit and stick with him for a lap. Coming towards the end now as well. Can't remember exactly how long this race is. So 42 minutes in total, so we've only got 5 minutes left. So coming towards the end. So can Obi-Wan hold on to this now? He's pulling a nice gap over Apache behind him. He's got it all under control, but can he keep it clean and consistent and round this race off nicely? Get a win. It looks like he can from my perspective. Obviously, you guys that are watching this know what happened. It all happened on Sunday night, so next week's when I do it live, which I fully intend on doing. Hopefully nothing will happen that stops me doing it, but yeah, when I do it, it'll be slightly different because it won't be a post-race commentary. Obviously, I don't really know what happened in this race, so it's all being fresh to me. You guys kind of know what happened. Hopefully you've still enjoyed it though, but it's a slightly different take on it as you've all done the racing and seen it already. And I haven't. So good driving, consistent, keeping it nice and tidy and clean. Just making sure you don't make any silly mistakes in this last little section of the race. Apache doing his best to stick with him, but can't quite close the gap. He's done a really good job of sticking with him, to be fair, with that damage and his tyre wear. Carrington in third. Done well from the start. Kept third place for most of the race now. The majority of the race is spent in third. Driving around on his own for quite a lot of it, but still a good position. I'll be happy with that. Cutler had a really good start. Held first position for the opening lap. And it all went wrong soon after that. I can't remember exactly what lap it happened on, but had a little bit of a mistake and went backwards. Found himself in 6th position, if not worse at one point, but he managed to battle through, get back into this race, and he's had a good comeback race in the end to get himself back up into 4th. Not quite reaching the dizzy heights of the podium, but that's not a bad result after quite a dramatic drop down the field at one point. Just kind of summarising these guys' races before it finishes. Phil, again, consistent. Not really gone too far forward, but not really dropped backwards, and had a nice consistent race. Kept 5th position more or less throughout the race, or thereabouts, 5th, 6th. E-Man, similar story for him. Good driving, consistent stuff. Seen a decent couple of overtakes as well. Bit of a battle with Tanso earlier on, and good stuff from E-Man. All these guys are new to me other than Cutler as well, so hope you appreciate that. I don't have any previous experience of watching these guys or driving with them. Tanso, I recognise his name, but I don't really know him very well either. He's in 7th. Again, bit of a mixed midfield race. Struggled to get his way through and get himself a bit higher up, but done well to battle it out in the midfield. We're on the final lap now. We'll just quickly sum up the rest of it. Doc, similar case with him as well. Bit of a mistake here and there, dropped him back. Same with Rick, bit of a mistake early on from Rick, saw him drop back. He had a decent start. Josh battling at the back from the start really. Same with Jamin and Scrabu. Anyway, we'll jump on board with Obi-Wan. Oh, other people have come up the line already, but we'll watch Obi-Wan, Apache and Carrington finish off this race and draw the conclusion to the podium. Cutler and Phil have already finished in 4th and 5th. E-Man coming over the line in 6th now as well. Let's keep an eye on this actually, they're quite a way off finishing. Tanso in 7th. Brought it home in 7th in the end. Doc is going to finish in 8th. 9th is going to be Rick. Josh has already finished. 11th is going to be Jamming, and Scrabby was finished 12th. So we'll go back to our leader, Obi-Wan, give him the glory at the end. Again, brilliant race. Really, really strong race from Obi-Wan. Not really knowing his racing history or anything about him. I have no idea if he does this every week, but he certainly put it together strongly this week. Did a good job in the Mercedes. So in the end, finishes first comfortably, with Apache following him over the line in the McLaren, and then Carrington finishing in third. So that kind of summarises the race, hopefully. That's pretty much it. There we go. So, that doesn't leave me a lot else to say other than thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you appreciate that and enjoyed it, is the word I was looking for. Feel free to hit that like button once again. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you want to stick with me. I know it's only 4 races this season, but yeah, feel free to join me again next Sunday. I will be streaming it live from 8:30, I think it is, qualifying. So I will see you then, if not before. Take care. Bye for now.